It's awesome. We're going to finish up your education on Scots-Irish here in America. Slide. All right, and so the Scots-Irish moved west, as into the Smokies, because all the land in the east was uphill. Scarlett estimates over 200,000 Scots-Irish migrated to the Americas between 1717 and 1775. And they quickly pushed to the more mountainous interior where land could be obtained cheaply, and here they lived on the first frontier of America. The term hillbilly often has been applied to descendants in the mountains carrying connotations of poverty, backwardness, and violence. This word has its origins in Scotland and Ireland. Everybody's heard of the word hillbillies, I'm sure. All right, 17th century hillbillies. The term originated in 17th century Ireland from Protestant supporters of King William III, Prince of Orange. During the English Civil War, he led an English force into Ireland and defeated Roman Catholic King James II at the Battle of Boyne in 1690. A significant portion of William's army was composed of Protestants of Scottish descent who had settled in frequently hilly land confiscated in Ulster. The Southern Irish Catholic supporters of James II referred to these Northern Protestant supporters of King William as Billy Boys, Billy being the abbreviation for William, and they lived in the hills, hence hillbillies. Slide. Now the Scots-Irish pushed to the extreme western fringe of a settlement amid the Alleghenies. Eventually the backcountry of Pennsylvania and Virginia could not accommodate all the immigrants who kept coming. By the time of the Revolution, the flow of settlers moved southwestwards, and by the 1780s, it pushed into the western Appalachian Mountain region. In the winter of 1768, the first permanent occupation of eastern Tennessee was made by families from North Carolina. By the early 1800s, North Carolina was well settled, and some veterans of the American Revolution were given land there by the financially strapped new federal government, which could not afford to pay them in cash for military service. The reason that's highlighted was that was one of my great times up to grandfathers. He was a Revolutionary War soldier that served in North Carolina, and after the war, they're like, hey, thanks for your service. Wish we could pay you, but we can't. What we will do is give you land over the mountains. And so that's how that part of my family got here in Tennessee. Now, other immigrants brought extremely cheap land confiscated from the Cherokees through a series of one-sided treaties that culminated in the forced removal of the Cherokees to Oklahoma. Anybody know what that was called? Trail of Tears. So that's when the Cherokees were actually forced out of Tennessee and had to go down to Oklahoma. Slide. All right, now Dandridge history begins a small frontier settlement in the short-lived state of Franklin. That's right, state of Franklin is in one of the states of America. The state of Franklin was an autonomous territory located in today's what is eastern Tennessee. Franklin was created in 1784 for part of the territory west of the Appalachian Mountains that had been offered by North Carolina Congress to help pay debts related to the American Revolution. It was founded with the intent of becoming the 14th state of the new United States. It was founded in 1783 by Scots-Irish immigrants. Dandridge, situated on the banks of the French Broad River, quickly grew to become the county seat of the newly formed Jefferson County in 1792. Dandridge was an attractive location for early settlers because of the fertile land, bountiful game, and plentiful supply of fresh water. It is the second oldest town in Tennessee, and it honors First Lady George Washington's wife, Maury Dandridge Custis Washington, and it is the only town in America to bear her name. Slide. All right, this is the state of Franklin and its counties. Now, the state of Franklin only exists for 3 years. It actually was never officially brought into America as a state. But these are the counties. You can see our county right here. Slide. Now, before the state of Franklin, there was the Republic of Watauga. To escape from the persecutions of the rich coastal Carolina plantation aristocracy, many non-wealthy Carolinians crossed the Appalachian Mountains and built their cabins in the Watauga region. And there, in 1772, was established by these rebels the first republic in America, based on the written Constitution. That Constitution was the first ever adopted by a community of American born freemen. The first Constitution was written in Watauga. Now, the Republic of Wautuba was a semi-autonomous government created in 1772 by frontier settlers along the Wautuba River in now what is Elizabethton, Tennessee. Although only lasted a few years, Wautuba provided a base for what was later developed into the state of Tennessee and likely influenced other western frontier governments in the Trans-Appalachian region. And I actually had another of my great auntie granddads was one of the guys who founded Wautuba. So they went on and found Nashville. Slide. By the Civil War, the migration of Scots-Irish to West North Carolina and eastern Tennessee was basically completed. Tens of thousands of them had arrived in a complex multi-generational movement of settlement and resettlement. They brought with them their religion, folk traditions, and cultural traits which contributed to the distinctive cultural mix that developed in southern Appalachia out of the mingling of two very different groups, Native American and European. The Scots-Irish influence still continues to impact the people of western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee today. That's why. The Scots-Irish influence on the Appalachian accent. Research suggests that most of this dialect's distinction characteristics are American in origin, although the dialect definitely features a strong Scottish influence. The dialect is what's called rhotic. Rhotic means speakers pronounce R's whenever they're in words, and even when they're not. When your clothes get dirty, what you want to do? Wash them. Should have washed them. She washed them. That's rhotic. Additionally, many words find their origin in Scottish and Elizabethan English. For example, victuals. Everybody heard of that? Everybody knows victuals are food. That comes from Elizabethan England. In fact, the modern-day Appalachian accents are closely relative to English as was spoken at the time of Queen Elizabeth over 400 years ago. So if Queen Elizabeth was somehow able to transport in time to Appalachia, she'd actually understand us. Slide. Now, Scots-Irish influence on whiskey and Appalachian music. Scots-Irish immigrants also created the ancient Celtic art of making whiskey to the southern Appalachians. Tennessee, in particular, evolved that art in distinct American styles that are now recognized brands worldwide, namely Jack Daniels and George Zimmer. True to the spirits of Scots-Irish rebellion, the region also gave birth to underground moonshining operations that have been kept through generations. Recently, moonshine distilleries have become legal here in Tennessee, and several distilleries like Old Smoky Moonshine share this heritage with visitors to Smoky Mountains. One of the most notable preservations of Scots-Irish tradition can be found in the native Appalachian music. Traditional Irish and Scottish folk songs, which you've been hearing all morning, heavily influenced bluegrass. Bluegrass combines Irish and Scottish fiddle music with the English and Irish tradition of the ballad. Additionally, African-American blues musicians played a significant role in developing Appalachian music by contributing the five-string banjo in the 18th century. The banjo comes from Africa. So when those slaves were brought over from Africa, they brought the banjo with them. An instrument that has since become synonymous with the region and adding another layer to a unique musical tradition steeped in Scotch-Irish history. Slide. All right. This quote right here is from the book Our Southern Highlanders by Horace Kephart. Y'all go ahead and read that. That pretty much sums it up. And the last sentence, and these traits, exaggerated as they were by the forces of environment, remain unweakened among their descendants to the present day, which is you guys. Slide. All right, I appreciate you all listening to my education about Scots-Irish history. I'm going to be down there in downtown Dandridge tomorrow, in between the last clan tent and the UK Marcus Welsh cookie tent. And these are the presentations we're going to be given. We're going to be talking about the Vikings, because the Vikings colonized everywhere, including here in America, about 500 years before Columbus. But once again, thank you very much for your attendance, and I hope I will see you down here on Main Street tomorrow. Thank you.
Guys, John, today's the first day I've been able to meet this amazing man. We're both from Texas. We both went to the same university, Texas A&M. And he served in the Marine Corps like my husband, Rusty, here. They were in the same cadet outfit at Texas A&M, the one that takes care of the Reveille, the mascot. This is an amazing man, and you are lucky to see him today. He's a hero in our country, and he probably didn't brag about that. But you should know that before you leave here today.
Thank y'all very much, and I hope I will see you down there on Main Street tomorrow.